3 and 2 and 1 and so this is Trumbo that we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think either of us liked it very much.
No, I didn't like it very much.
Well, okay, so it's
I didn't even think the trailers were very good.
No, well, I think, ironically, it's just a case of, like, bad storytelling.
Yeah.
I think they've put the story in the back seat and left it so the movie hangs on what would probably meant to be, like, vision to be potent, like, monologues and lines and performances, but they weren't actually that good either.
No.
And so it was just, because I think that the whole stigma that they got in the blacklist, it was a lot more devastating than the movie made. The movie made it just look like, oh, that's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
But I think it was really bad.
It was very much like, oh, I went to jail. Now I'm writing movies again, Ghost Rider.
And I think it affected a lot of people, and it put a lot of people out of work, and I don't know much about it, but I think it was a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And this just made it look like, well, what do you do?
All part of the business.
It'll move along. Kirk Douglas will come along and he'll fix it all for you. So I didn't. I don't even think Bryan Cranston was very good in this.
No, but I think he was probably the best. I didn't think. Overall, I thought the performances were quite poor.
Kirk Douglas, I liked his performance.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas was good, and I quite like John Goodman as the cheapo.
Yeah. I don't usually like John
producer.
Goodman, but I quite liked him in this.
Yeah, he was quite good. But Bryan Cranston, no way he's winning the Academy Award.
God no. I don't know if that's how Trumbo actually spoke, but that was such an annoying way of talking. It's like, well,
it was basically his voice with a little bit of a quirks to it.
Yeah. Well, you see. Really weird.
And then Louis C.K.'s character, who got annoyed at him all the time for like speaking like he said put it on a rock or something.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was enough to get annoyed about.
No, well, I was getting annoyed.
I think you put it you put it best as you didn't know any of the characters' motivations.
No, I started crying and just like, I'm writing this, and I'm like, why? What are you doing?
And then I thought Helen Mirren and him were friends for like a good half of this movie.
They portrayed her as a real bitch, and I think that was quite well done. I was like, oh, you fucking bitch, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't really know and like that big talk she was giving to like the army or whatever. What was that about? Who were they?
I don't know, just things in this movie happened, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
This movie's quite difficult to follow.
And I said that before going in, I heard it was quite difficult to follow from a historic point of view, though. People were like, we don't know why he is the communist. And I was like, okay, that's so. But it was just such a jumble. It was a really weird movie.
Yeah.
It was just so mediocre, but leaning towards bad.
A documentary would be better.
I would really,
hard facts and explained it.
I would really want to watch a documentary about this rather than this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of F-bombs as well.
A surprising number.
A lot of F-bombs. More than 15, I'd say.
I'd say it's about 15.
Yeah. Around 15. And we're seeing that a lot lately.
Yeah, the big show.
Ever since we started reviewing, it's become a big thing.
Are we just noticing this now, or has it always been happening?
No.
I think most of this year we've been seeing generally bad movies. we cinema only gets the bad movies, never gets the good ones.
No.
Like, what is that? Dirty Grandpa coming soon.
Dirty Grandpa. But it's just boring as shit.
It was. I looked at my watch, and it was halfway through.
It picked up when he started writing again at the end with Kirk Douglas. Even then,
the first half of the movie was boring.
And again, the passage of time.
And they even had times coming up, but they didn't do it when he got out of prison. So I'm like, well, he's gone a bit grey, so
yeah.
But I think from the dates, it must have been a maximum of 3 years he was in prison, and he went quite a bit grey because he had like fully coloured hair.
And like, who was that guy at the end?
Which guy?
When he was given that model, it ended on a really weak, had a weak ending. But that guy, when it kept cutting from Trumbo to this guy with like a beard. I was like,
The guy like to the left of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like in the corner.
I thought
am I meant to know who that is?
Yeah. In another review that I saw a while ago, they said that Bryan Cranston was the only one that aged during the movie. Like, this movie set over this course of 20 years or something, and he goes fully grey. Everyone basically
there's
says
the
the
actor
same.
at the start who I didn't know his involvement. I didn't understand his involvement. He was in the first movie. He's like, he's a great writer. He's what's my genius line now? Who kept coming up with all the pictures? You know the guy, all the art.
Oh yeah,
He was holding the meetings.
Yeah.
I don't know his involvement, but he
was the guy that dobbed them in, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like, why was he working with them anyway? Just was he their friend?
He was just the house they used.
I don't know who dobbed who in and who was doing what. It was
I don't even know what they were guilty of.
Contempt against Congress.
What is that?
I suppose it's just like they didn't like not agreeing with Congress.
Is it kind of like treason or something?
Yeah, I suppose it'd be pretty close to treason, but I don't know. It sounds like a bullshit crime. I suppose that's why they were so angry.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, they were guilty of nothing.
But, you know, that guy went a bit grey. I don't know who was doing what. All I know is Dalton was writing some scripts.
Yeah, and he wrote some good ones. We haven't seen any of his movies, but...
Neither have I, actually.
I thought he was gonna... because I didn't know the story, I kept expecting, like, Spartacus to win for best screenplay or something. Or that other one, that, Exodus. But it didn't, I guess.
Is Spartacus based on Exodus?
No, completely different movies, just...
Is it?
Yeah.
I got the impression it was. It's hot. But out of what I said during this makes fucking Bridge of Spies look like a masterpiece.
Bridge of Spies is actually quite good.
Yeah, after seeing this, I have a respect for Bridge of Spies. Okay, but I'll give this a 2.
I was thinking of 2 out of 5 too. 2.
That's an agreement. That's our first consent. That's our first
consecutive agreements on the score.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend this movie to anyone, really.
I wouldn't either. It's boring.
That old lady at the back.
Oh.
Who was... Ho, 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 ho.
What was she laughing at?
She was laughing at when John Goodman was trashing the place.
Oh, yeah.
She just started cracking up.
The only thing in this business is good is the money and the pussy, and they're falling off the trees. I was like...
And then there was a bit where Kirk Douglas was like,
I've always been a
always
bastard.
been a bastard. You just never noticed. She was like, whoa, ho, 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 ho.
And so the people in the theatre with us, it was we were originally the only ones in there.
Yeah.
And then 2 ladies came at the back, and I was like, oh.
What, that lady sat in the same row?
Sat in the same row as us. So they had an empty theatre, and I was...
And there was
annoyed.
an empty row behind us as well. There was those 2 ladies sat right at the back, and then there was an empty row, and then us.
There's 2 empty rows.
Silly.
I was actually really annoyed by that. Okay, but 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. Trumbo, wouldn't recommend this.
Is this the worst movie I've seen all year?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It's a new year.
Oh.
It is for me.